Hello everyone. Have you ever wondered why you sometimes wake up with a swollen body, mysterious joint pains or fatigue that seems to have no explanation? What if I told you that the answer could be on your plate? Today I'm going to reveal the 7 most inflammatory foods that are probably part of your routine without you suspecting the damage they silently cause. Experts consider chronic inflammation to be the root of several modern diseases, from digestive problems, joint pain and allergies to more serious conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, and even some types of cancer. The most alarming thing is that many foods that we consider healthy or harmless are true inflammatory bombs. By the end of this video, you will know how to identify these hidden villains in your diet, and more importantly, you will know healthy alternatives to replace them. This could be the information you are missing to transform your health and quality of life. Let's go. Before we begin, if you are looking for more content on health and well-being, click the subscribe button and activate the bell to receive notifications of our next videos. And now, let's learn about the 7 foods that may be inflaming your body without you realizing it. That little sweet treat after lunch seems harmless, right? But what if I told you that this little daily pleasure could be triggering a silent storm of inflammation in your body? Thousands of people suffer from chronic pain, fatigue, and skin problems without ever suspecting that the villain is hiding in their favorite dessert. Inflammation caused by sugar is a problem that affects practically the entire population. In a world where this ingredient is camouflaged in almost everything we consume, from salad dressings to whole grain breads, our bodies are constantly fighting its harmful effects, often without us realizing the connection between our consumption and our symptoms. Have you ever noticed how you feel after consuming too much sugar? That energy that comes and goes quickly, followed by fatigue and even headaches? Share in the comments if you have noticed these symptoms and if you have tried to reduce sugar in your diet. Recent neuroimaging studies show that sugar activates the same brain reward circuits as addictive substances. Researchers at Harvard University have discovered that it triggers an inflammatory cascade in the body, increasing markers such as C-reactive protein and interleukins that are directly linked to chronic diseases. Start by gradually replacing refined sugar with natural alternatives such as fruits, dates, or small amounts of honey. Your taste buds will adapt over time, and you will begin to notice the excessively sweet taste of processed foods. Read labels carefully and be aware of alternative names for sugar, such as corn syrup, dextrose, and maltodextrin. But did you know that the body can quickly recover from the inflammatory effects of sugar? In just 10 days of not consuming too much, many people report significant improvements in joint pain, mental clarity, and even in the quality of their sleep. It's amazing how small changes can bring big results, isn't it? Challenge yourself to go 7 days without refined sugar and write down how you feel each day. Then come back here and share your experience in the comments. The second food on our list may surprise you. Imagine that the healthy oil you use to prepare your family's meals every day is silently promoting inflammation in every cell of your body. Shocking, right? The truth about refined vegetable oils that the food industry doesn't want you to know can completely change your health. Soybean, corn, sunflower, and canola oils are present in practically every processed food we consume. This widespread consumption has created a silent epidemic of imbalance in essential fatty acids in our bodies, contributing to chronic inflammation that affects everything from our skin to our vital organs. Take a look in your pantry right now. Nael, how many products contain these refined oils? Check the labels of cookies, ready-made or frozen sauces. Are you surprised? Tell us in the comments how many items you found with these inflammatory ingredients. Research from the Department of Nutrition at the University of São Paulo demonstrate that the excess of omega-6 present in these oils creates an imbalance in the ideal proportion with omega-3, generating a pro-inflammatory environment in the body. Studies with inflammatory biomarkers show an increase of up to 30% in cytokine levels after regular consumption of these oils for just 3 weeks. Gradually replace these refined oils with healthier options such as extra virgin olive oil, virgin coconut oil or ghee, clarified butter. For occasional frying, avocado oil is an excellent alternative because it is highly resistant to high temperatures. And remember, the less processed, the better for your body. Did you know that many people who eliminate refined vegetable oils report significant improvement in skin problems such as eczema and psoriasis? This is because these highly processed oils can trigger inflammatory responses that manifest through the skin, our largest organ. Start reading labels carefully today and eliminate products that contain these oils. Your body will thank you with more energy and less inflammation. Subscribe to the channel to receive our free ebook with recipes for healthy homemade sauces that do not use industrialized oils. Our third villain will surprise you. That fresh bread for breakfast, the pizza on the weekend, or the comforting pasta for dinner. Foods based on refined wheat may be fueling a continuous cycle of inflammation in your body, especially in the intestine, which is considered the center of our immune system. The problem is not just gluten, as many people think. The intense processing that wheat undergoes eliminates its natural nutrients and fiber, transforming it into a fast-absorbing carbohydrate that spikes blood sugar levels. In addition, the additives and whiteners used in refined flour are known to irritate the intestinal wall. Have you ever tried going a week without eating wheat? Did you notice any difference in your digestion, energy levels, or even facial swelling? Share your experience in the comments. A study published in the respected Journal of Gastroenterology found that up to 30% of people without celiac disease experience significant improvements in intestinal and extra-intestinal symptoms when they eliminate wheat from their diet. This is because proteins in modern wheat can increase intestinal permeability in sensitive individuals, allowing undigested food particles to leak into the bloodstream, triggering a systemic inflammatory response. Try replacing refined wheat with alternatives such as quinoa, brown rice, gluten-free oats, and almond flours. There are also bread and pasta options made with ancient grain flours such as spelt or kamut, which are better tolerated by many sensitive individuals. It's fascinating how many people report that their brain fog disappears completely after a few weeks of not consuming refined wheat. Mental clarity and improved sleep are surprising benefits that are often reported by those who make this change. If you enjoyed this information, be sure to like the video and share it with someone who could benefit. And now, on to our fourth. Inflammatory food. Have you ever heard dairy products being the villain for some people? We've long believed that milk and dairy products were essential for strong bones, but modern science is telling a different story for many individuals. Conventional dairy products can be powerful triggers of inflammation, especially in people with undiagnosed sensitivities. The problem starts with changes in industrial processing and animal husbandry. Today's commercial milk contains different proteins than it did decades ago, as well as residues of antibiotics and hormones that can disrupt our delicate hormonal and immune balance. Do you or someone in your family suffer from chronic sinusitis, excess mucus, persistent acne, or joint pain? These could be signs of an inflammatory response to dairy. Have you tried eliminating this food group for at least 21 days to see how your body reacts? Researchers at the University of Michigan have found that casein, the main protein in milk, can trigger the release of histamine and other inflammatory mediators in susceptible people. What's more, imaging studies show that dairy consumption can increase inflammation in the airways in people prone to allergies. If you suspect dairy may be causing problems, try plant-based alternatives like almond, coconut, or oat milk. For calcium, eat more. Dark green vegetables, chia seeds, and sesame seeds. And if you don't want to give up dairy completely, opt for fermented versions like kefir and plain yogurt, which are better tolerated by many people. It's amazing how so many patients with skin conditions resistant to conventional treatments see their condition improve dramatically after eliminating dairy. I remember a follower who struggled with severe acne for 15 years, saw several dermatologists, and saw her skin completely clear up in just 1 month without consuming dairy. Try doing a 30-day dairy detox and take pictures of your skin before and after. You might be surprised by the results. Share your photos with us on social media using the hashtag #DairyFreeChallenge. We've reached our 5th inflammatory food, and it's hidden in practically every processed food we consume: artificial sweeteners. Those colorful little packets that promise calorie-free sweetness could be sabotaging your efforts to have a healthy, inflammation-free body. Many people turn to artificial sweeteners as a healthy alternative to sugar, without realizing that these chemicals can be even more harmful. Substances such as aspartame, sucralose, and saccharin have been linked to changes in the gut microbiota, the very ecosystem that regulates much of our immune system. Do you consume artificial sweeteners on a daily basis? Have you noticed symptoms such as headaches, fatigue, or digestive problems after consuming them? Your experience could help other members of our community. A study published in the journal Nature showed that artificial sweeteners can drastically alter the composition of gut bacteria in just 1 week of regular consumption. These changes have been associated with increased insulin resistance and a greater predisposition to weight gain, the exact opposite of what many people are looking for when they use these products. Instead of artificial sweeteners, try gradually reducing your sweet tooth. Small amounts of raw honey, natural xylitol, or pure stevia, not commercial blends with other additives, can be healthier occasional alternatives. The ideal, however, is to retrain your palate to appreciate the natural flavor of foods. Fantastic thing. Many people who eliminate artificial sweeteners report a decrease in the intensity of their cravings for sweets. This is because these compounds can stimulate sweet receptors in the brain without actually satisfying the desire, creating a vicious cycle of consumption. If this content was helpful, don't forget to like it and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos. We're getting to the last villains on our list. The 6th food on our list can be present in your breakfast every day. Processed meats such as bacon, sausage, ham, and sausages in general. These tasty foods come at a high price to our health, acting as true inflammatory triggers in the body. The problem with processed meats goes beyond saturated fat. These products contain high levels of compounds called AGs, advanced glycation end products, nitrates, nitrites, and other preservatives that trigger oxidative stress and inflammation in cells. The WHO has already classified processed meats as carcinogenic, placing them in the same category as tobacco. Do you usually include processed meats in your daily meals? Have you tried replacing them with less processed proteins? Tell us about your experience in the comments. Researchers at Columbia University discovered that regular consumption of processed meats can increase levels of inflammatory markers in the blood by up to 40% in just 2 weeks. These same markers are associated with the development of cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, and accelerated cognitive decline. Replace processed meats with less inflammatory proteins like pasture-raised eggs, wild fish rich in omega-3s, legumes, and if you eat meat, opt for fresh cuts from sustainably raised animals. To add flavor to your meals, use anti-inflammatory herbs and spices such as turmeric, ginger, and oregano. It's amazing how many people with chronic joint pain report significant improvement after eliminating processed meats from their diet. Inflammation that lasted years can begin to decrease in a matter of weeks with this simple change. Challenge yourself to go 21 days without eating any type of processed meat and see how your body responds. Note any changes in a food diary and share your journey with us. And we come to our seventh and final inflammatory food: ultra-processed foods rich in artificial additives. These products that we can hardly call real food are everywhere. Snacks, stuffed cookies, instant soups, ready-made frozen foods, and so many others that promise convenience but deliver inflammation. Ultra-processed foods are veritable chemical bombs. Dyes, preservatives, stabilizers, flavor enhancers such as monosodium glutamate, MSG, artificial flavors. The list of additives in a single product can exceed 20 items. Our body did not evolve to process these substances, and many of them are recognized by the immune system as invaders, triggering inflammatory responses. Have you ever stopped to read the ingredient list of the foods you regularly buy? Can you pronounce all the names or understand what those substances are? Go to your pantry right now and count how many artificial ingredients you find in 3 different products. A groundbreaking study published in the British Medical Journal followed more than 100,000 people for 10 years and found a direct correlation between the consumption of ultra-processed foods and the development of chronic inflammatory diseases. For every 10% increase in the consumption of these products, the risk of inflammatory conditions increased by up to 14%. Start by gradually replacing ultra-processed foods with whole foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. A practical tip is to shop mainly in the outer sections of the supermarket where the fresh foods are, and avoid the central aisles, which are dominated by processed products. Did you know that many parents report significant improvements in behavior, concentration, and even conditions such as ADHD and eczema in their children after eliminating artificial additives from the family diet? The impact of these chemicals on the developing brain may be even more pronounced than in adults. Try spending a week eating only foods that have no more than 5 ingredients, all recognizable and pronounceable. Your body and mind will quickly feel the difference. That's the end of our list of the 7 most inflammatory foods that you probably eat without realizing it. Let's quickly recap. Refined sugar, refined vegetable oils, refined wheat and gluten, conventional dairy, artificial sweeteners, processed meats, ultra-processed foods with artificial additives. Remember, chronic inflammation is a silent process that can take years to manifest as a diagnosable disease. The good news is that your body has an incredible capacity for regeneration when we provide it with the right nutrients and eliminate inflammatory agents. You don't have to eliminate all of these foods at once. Start by choosing a group that you suspect may be causing problems and eliminate them for 30 days. Pay close attention to how your body responds. Often, symptoms that we consider normal, such as fatigue, headaches, digestive issues, or joint pain, resolve when we remove the inflammatory triggers. If this video helped you in any way, be sure to share it with friends and family who could benefit from this information. Your action could change someone's life. Let us know in the comments which of these foods surprised you the most and which one you'll try to eliminate first. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to receive our next videos on anti-inflammatory diets, healthy recipes and tips for a life with more energy and vitality. And if you have any suggestions for future topics, leave them in the comments. Thank you very much for watching this far. We're together on this journey of health and well-being. See you in the next video.